Okay,
the Philip vocals for the
What?
intro.
Okay, my bad. Shoot, killing it.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Traveling Hoopers podcast. I'm your host, Alan. Calvin almost froze. And I'll let these fine gentlemen go ahead and introduce themselves for the millionth time.
I'm Calvin McGowan. Uh, Crap. What? Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, that
Oh,
works.
yeah. I'm Philip Dixon, aka Anime's Wonder. You feel me? So
Anyway, I don't really got much. What y'all want to start with?
she's ignorant.
I want to start.
What?
I want to start with high school or NBA.
Let's start up and go down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's start up and go down. So for this last week, I've been hearing some narratives about some of the NBA games that I don't necessarily agree with, right? So the first being that if Porzingis would have played the games and or not gotten kicked out of the one game, then the Mavericks would have beat the Clippers, and I don't understand how that is the case because the game where Porzingis got kicked out, the Clippers were up 20, Mavericks came back up like 10. Then when he got kicked out with the third quarter, whatever it was, the Mavericks were only up 4 points against the Clippers. You know that doesn't mean it's a guaranteed win. More than likely, guaranteed loss the way the Clippers looking. You know what I mean? So there's a whole narrative of like people are like upset that like Porzingis, are using Porzingis as like the scapegoat to say that the Clippers would have lost the first round. And I think it's just really a lot of people writing that Luka Doncic high. They're writing that Luka Doncic high, but I don't understand. Or I get why because people are followers, but I don't get why if you actually know basketball. You get what I'm saying? That makes sense?
Yeah, all I gotta say on that is I think they would have won 7 if we had healthy Porzingis. I think that goes to a 7-game series, even though Kawhi Leonard just looked head and shoulders better than like anybody in the league on that game 6, bro. Like he was picking that team apart. Like now I'm talking about like it's no contest. Like that's how good he looked. Like it was no contest.
Offensively, his skill set is so smooth. It's kind of outrageous, to tell you the truth.
It's slow motion, bro. His face not changing. He's just gonna hit this mid-range pull up on you. And when did he become a playmaker? I remember like them talking about this a little bit with like the Raptors, but it's kind of like it's like he looks point guardish at times.
I mean, if you watch Kawhi, if you have watched Kawhi over the longevity of his career, once he with the Finals MVP and like that season for the Spurs, he can do what the team needs to do to win, right? So like if you need him, because Doc Rivers, to build on what you're just saying, Doc Rivers is like, I knew he was a good passer, but I didn't know he was an elite passer. I'm like, yeah, he's an elite passer when he needs to be. He's an elite scorer when he needs to be. He's an elite defender when he needs. You know what I mean? Like whatever the team needs to win, he does to win. So that's why his teams win because he can adapt. You know what I mean? So like we never needed to see him be the playmaker and things like that in terms of passing. And you saw a little bit of it with Toronto, but for the rest of his teams, he didn't really need to be that person. But when you need him to be that person, he can for sure be that person. We saw it game 6. And it just happens that he's the best defender on the team too. So like it's pretty obnoxious. What's pretty obnoxious what he's doing.
Bro. I think the worst part might be is it doesn't even when he's in that mode, his face doesn't show you that he's trying.
He don't even look tired.
He don't even look proud of himself, bro. He just be like, yeah, I do this.
But like,
I play basketball.
Don't you just like that though? Like I do this. Like I do. Like you don't need to talk too dirty. You don't need to do nothing. You just in your head know that the other team can't do nothing about you. So you just like all nonchalant about it. Like that's kind of That's kind of swaggy in its own way. Like, we're so used to people being so overly emotional with like how they, go about playing basketball if you're a great, that it's just cool to be like, this guy don't show no emotion because he just know he that guy. The only time you really seen him show emotion is the game winner for Toronto against the 76ers. Like, he shows so much emotion that I didn't even like it. I'm like, why are you so excited, dog? Like, do you? But like, this ain't you. Like, it's pretty much wild, bro.
I think that might be the one time in his like career where he probably didn't think he was gonna make that. The way he like bounced low, like come on. He was praying. That's why he got excited, bro.
Is Kawhi going to be, by the end of his career, the best player to ever not win a regular season MVP?
That's a hard question because I can't think of a lot of people who did not win. Like I can't think of like who would be that person who didn't win. Mm-hmm. But he got to be up there, bro.
I mean, he's gonna have all these Finals MVPs, all these All-Star games, all these Defensive Player of the Years, all these championships, and I could easily see, because in my opinion, he's been the best player in the league for like the last couple of years. I can easily see him just not winning the MVP though, because he's just all around great, but like to get the MVP, like you just have to have like a phenomenal one season. You know what I mean? There's always going to be that person that has like a phenomenal one season or whatever it is. That numbers just jump out the roof. You know what I mean? But he's just elite at everything. Yeah. So his numbers don't stand out like that. You know, like a Giannis is going to get a lot of points in the paint. Giannis is going to get, crazy rebounds, all that kind of stuff. But Kawhi, being the person that we just said, is the guy who will do what the team needs to do to win the game and to win the championship. Those numbers and the thing or when you go about that, the numbers that you're going to get won't be MVP type numbers. So I could easily see him not getting MVP ever.
Yeah, I think he won't get MVP because he doesn't play enough games. Like the most games he's ever played was 74, but he's only ever played more than 67 games twice in his career. And that was the last two. That was between the last two healthy seasons that he had in San Antonio. Like everything else, he's like, no, I'm not playing that much.
He's the most non-diva ever. Like he a diva. Like he got diva antics, but like divas are usually like all over the place. Super emotional. Super facial. And this man is not that. But like the way he goes about playing, like, yeah, I'm not gonna play today. Like you a diva, dog. Like that's nuts.
Is that diva antics or is that just knowing your body?
I feel like that's diva antics because he doesn't push his body enough to know his body.
Oh, I don't know, bro. Like they even like he looked hurt at the beginning of the season from like the playoffs. So
when he was leaving San Antonio, it was like issues with like the health. The athletic trainers and things like that for San Antonio, right?
Yeah, like he didn't really trust him or whatever.
He didn't really trust them, all that kind of stuff, which outside of the Patriots, and even more the Patriots, you could argue, the San Antonio Spurs have like the quote-unquote classiest, right, of like organizations. And I'm only, like from top to bottom, you don't hear nothing about their whole entire, you never heard anything bad about them. Literally since the Iceman all the way to Tim Duncan, you know what I mean? Like you just never heard anything bad about them. And then all of a sudden Kawhi don't trust him. So I was always curious, like what happened there? Was Kawhi like already feeling himself behind the scenes? So he was just like, I don't need to play more. You know what I mean? Like which is a diva antic. So like, I really think he's just a diva, and like he puts on a straight face for like the crowd or like the public, so no one can tell. But I'm pretty sure he a real housewife.
But we haven't heard a single story about that though. Like I feel he's been in the league 9 years, bro. Something would have got out. Like something.
Yeah, something would have got out. You're right, but it sounds like something would have come out. But I think it's two things. One, he's just not interesting. like like you want spicy things to come out about interesting people, not about dudes who just gonna be like, I mean, that's my business. Respect that, and that's the whole answer. You know what I mean? Like that's just not it.
Bro,
And
when
then
they
I haven't
But,
said
when
again.
but like, no, I'm just like, but the thing is, if something like that came out about Kawhi, though, everyone would talk about it because you don't see him do anything, right? So like that contrast would get people's attention at least for a little bit.
look, and don't forget about when they had fake Kawhi in the strip club. And everybody was like, that was a news story for like a solid 3 weeks because
Listen,
it's just hilarious, bro.
why is it hilarious that any basketball player go to the strip club? We've been knowing that's like they battling ground for years.
But he's a robot. Robots don't go to strip clubs.
He not a okay. Granted, you know what? You heard the story about why he is the way he is, all right?
I know the story, and that's sad. I don't want to
It's
bring
very
that.
sad.
Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all about this like often.
Wait, what?
I mean,
I
it's
actually
like
don't know. I don't know the story.
Yeah, Alan, tell the story.
you're
I'll tell you.
trying to make me the bad guy.
We
No,
can we can
he's fine.
we can.
He was
Mm.
so supposedly. So like his dad was the owner of a car wash in L.A. And then Kawhi was just your average like personality wise, just your average guy. And then his dad got killed because somebody tried to rob him, all kind of stuff. And then after that, Kawhi like personality wise has been like really like under the radar ever since. Like so like this supposedly this is also Bleacher Report. I didn't check the source outside of that. So like but it sounded good, so I kind of went with it because I kind of like an urban myth or urban legend. So like I didn't check the sources on this one. I was like, if this is not true, that's still a good reason to be like, this is why Kawhi is this way. You know what I mean? But that's supposedly the story.
I mean, but if you like, I'm a nerd and I love high school basketball. I like the Ball's Life podcast. They'll have like the coaches, like the people who coach like a lot of the NBA superstars. Apparently, that like Kawhi's coach was like, yeah, you could. It was a noticeable difference.
Understandably too, right?
Yeah.
Like
Super.
yeah,
Super.
but yeah, Kawhi different. Like Kawhi is going to go down. Like if you're like once again, you're right. He doesn't play enough games, so he probably won't win MVP because that's gonna be like those nerdy journalists are gonna use that against him, whatever. Even though he's the best player in the league, you're gonna use it against him. He will be the best player to never win the MVP because all the players I can think of won some type of MVP. But then you got like the Rick Barrys and you got those kind of dudes who like averaged the numbers of Kobe Bryant who didn't win MVP. You know what I mean? Like dudes from like the 70s and like the early 80s. But then like the MVP like starts like getting more scarce. Like the MVP not scarce. Scarce and like only a few people win it. You know what I mean? Like LeBron, Larry Bird. Only like the all-time legends win it after like over a certain year. And then Kawhi is going to be an all-time great player. All-time great, but never win MVP, which is kind of sad, but I also don't think he cares, so why should I care?
Yeah. So I found a list from Basketball Network. And they got the 10 greatest players to never win. Dominique Wilkins, John Stockton, Clyde Drexler, Jason Kidd, Patrick Ewing, Isaiah Thomas, Elgin Baylor, Elvin Hayes, John Havlicek, Jerry West. I didn't see most of them play because I'm not 100 years old, but Kawhi might be the best. He might not have the numbers, but he might be the best.
I would have thought that Elgin Baylor would have had one, but
okay, go by
the other, but like Ewing and Drexler and them, that makes sense though because they were playing with Jordan.
Yeah.
All right, go through them one more time, but like one by one.
Okay. And Bleacher Report made one too, so we'll see what's up with that one. But at 10 they got Dominique Wilkins.
I mean, obviously, Dominique was like known for like one thing his whole career was the dunk, but
I mean that's a legacy thing, but Dominique was nice.
yeah, he was nice, but like he also
got,
didn't
like,
win.
the numbers to prove that he was
But
also nice.
No, he was
in
not.
that era, nobody won except Jordan.
Exactly.
Like once they really got going, and like Elijah won that one year, like Jordan wasn't playing.
Hey, but Charles won a MVP. Karl Malone won an MVP. You know what I mean? Like Jordan didn't win all the MVPs. He just won all the championships.
And pretty much all the scoring titles. But,
Yeah. Jordan got what, 6 MVPs? Like
Too many.
on like 14-year career? Like, oh no. He won most of the MVPs.
Man, that's less than half. Continue.
Yeah. John Stockton.
John Stockton, John Stockton, you can make an argument is the best white American to ever play basketball. But if you look at his numbers, everything's under like 10 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Everything's under that for a career.
Oh, that's
I'm
longevity.
pretty sure the assist is wrong, isn't it? I feel like the assist. Hold on. I gotta go and look it up.
Yeah.
I think the assist is up there. I think he might average
Yeah.
like 12 a career, bro.
Yeah, I think I think he's the highest average in the like of anyone like over a career.
If he
Over his
doesn't
career,
have
it's 10.5 a game.
What'd you say?
Over his career, it's 10.5 a game. Assists.
And he's all time. Look, and he's first in steals, first in assists. But like the second place, no one's gonna catch him. The second places behind those two stats are like so far back, it's like a little obnoxious. But yeah, no, Kawhi's in a way better than this man right here. Yeah. All right, who's next?
And by the way, just like a side note, Magic Johnson has a career high of 11.2. And I think that's the highest in NBA history. Number 8, Clyde Drexler.
I mean, he just happened to play the same position as Jordan. Like, his numbers are good for a career, but like, he's a shooting guard during the time Michael Jordan was playing. So he's not gonna win on either. But Kawhi is a better defender than him, which puts that over the top. All right, go.
And then number 7, Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd doesn't get the respect due since he started coaching. But I'm not gonna say Kawhi is better than Jason Kidd as a basketball player, but Jason Kidd career stats at this point are like ridiculous. You know what I mean? So like that's like a wait until the end kind of thing. But Kawhi was a better winner than him. But Jason Kidd did take the Nets to the finals twice, so that's a championship in its own right.
All I gotta say on that one is, I think Kawhi is never, like, of all the people on this list, I don't think Kawhi is ever going to like amass the numbers, like the total numbers, where we would look at him in the same light we're going to look at them. Like, Kawhi is probably going to be one of those dudes that go down in history where it's like, if you saw him, you know. Number 6 is Patrick Ewing.
We don't even argue about that. He a Nick. Come on now.
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas. People argue Isaiah Thomas like a top 3 point guard of all time. So like that hit. Ooh, that's tough right there. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's tough.
I think it's close.
It's close, but granted, Kawhi is like 28, 29, so like he got time. You know what I mean? But it's already close, which is wild in itself.
Yeah. Elgin Baylor.
I honestly don't know enough about Elgin Baylor's stats, or I just know he played for the Lakers, right?
Elgin Baylor's numbers are stupid. His career average is 27 a game, 13.5 rebounds, 4 steals.
No, 4.3 assists.
My bad. 4.3 steals. I mean assists.
Assists.
Look at that rock. I know Elgin Baylor's like legacy, but like I feel like if you were a guy who like lived and watched basketball when Elgin Baylor played, you're like, he's the most underrated player. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Elgin Baylor I feel like Kawhi could end up as one of those Elgin Baylor guys. That makes sense.
Yeah. The only reason why Elgin Baylor never won is because Bill Russell won 5 MVPs during that time, and Wilt Chamberlain won 4. So
that sucks.
like the greatest team of all time versus like an unstoppable force at the time. I mean, probably like in history. So like, kind of hard. Number 3 is Elvin Hayes.
Once again, I think that's the same boat for me. What are his stats?
Over,
Go ahead, Calvin.
all right. Over his career, he averaged 21 points, 12.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks.
Kawhi gonna average at least 2 assists, so he good. That's 1.8 assists. That's nothing. Wow, that's like you could make a mistake and get 2 assists a game. That's nuts. That's like so low for a player that like is like an all-time great legend.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also listed as a power forward or center, so
yeah,
it makes sense.
I have to back out to the shooter or something. You know what I mean? But man, that's nothing. All right, go. All right, who's next?
John Havlicek.
Pass it up. He played against a bunch of short Jewish guys. Like, come on now.
I mean, so did Elgin Baylor.
But Elgin Baylor was a bucket though. He's like if you watch it, but Elgin Baylor was like not, if you like watch the footage of them, Havlicek is like, ooh, he good, but Elgin Baylor like was like notably like nice.
Yeah.
But like that was the same era as like Russell and Chamberlain and Baylor and a lot of other dudes. So
what were Havlicek's numbers? Let me give this man a little bit of credit.
All right. Over his career, he averaged 20.8 points, 6.3 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 1.2 steals.
Yeah, his numbers even help. Nah, Kawhi gonna be better than that and everything.
And also, for the record, he played with Russell. So.
Oh, so he had like all them championships.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 8.
And he also had like a crazy 4-season stretch where he was averaging 26, 8, and 7.
Again, John, who did construction on the weekends, and come on now. Like, he's playing with the best player, you know what I mean? Or one of the best players. Like, whatever. Like, if you were playing against are you playing with a center who is Bill Russell, who averaging like numbers that like I can't even comprehend right now. Like, you better be able to score off him if you're even kind of nice. You know what I mean? But, you know, wasn't their coach Red Auerbach?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right.
And then number 1 is Jerry West.
I mean, the logo. I mean, what are Jerry West's numbers for career?
His numbers: 27 a game, 5.8 rebounds, 6.7 assists, and like 2.6 steals. The one season he was around while they counted them.
That sounds like Kawhi-like numbers. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like around what Kawhi could average. What's Kawhi averaging right now, actually, for career?
You said Kawhi?
Yeah.
18.7.
You know what's funny though? Kawhi's averaging 18.7 per game, but like if you take away those like first couple years in San Antonio, where like he played a little bit, then the next year he played a decent amount, and then he was just the defensive guy. You take away those first like 2 or 3 years, he's averaging 25.
Actually,
no,
he's not. He's averaging like 20.
Right? It's like 22.
Yeah.
If you just take away the first 2, like if you take away the first 4, then we're looking at
Kawhi really. Would you rather be like Kawhi really about to be that player? Like, man, you had to see him though. Like, you had to see this guy. He was nice. Like, he gonna end up. That's gonna be his legacy. Like, I wonder if that's upsetting. You know what I mean? Like,
not to him.
Obviously, right? Because he still got LeBron over here sweating when he got to guard him, and you know he over here doing his thing. You know what I mean? Like in the moment, but like what a weird like a legacy to have, to be that guy that you had to see to know you're nice instead of like everybody knowing you're nice.
I mean, I feel like there are probably a decent number of them dudes.
Yeah.
Like over the course of the league, though.
That happens to like what outside of outside of like the top 5 guys in the era, like everybody else is almost on that you had to see type stuff.
Yeah.
Especially
That's
as
true.
you're farther away.
But
Like
like Kawhi's like so different though because he's gonna have won a good amount of championships. Like he's gonna be a championship best in the league player. That's about. All the rest of these guys didn't win the championships that Kawhi's gonna win. They're not gonna win, they're not gonna be as good or the best player in the league at a time like Kawhi is. But Kawhi is going to be one of those players, even though he's the best in the league. Which I find, like an anomaly. Like I think the rest of those guys don't have those stats. If that makes sense.
But like but what Kawhi has in common with all of them is like there's a dude who's generally considered better. Like you're kind of not when people say best player in the league as a collective, people don't think Kawhi at the moment. Now, like I could be wrong and maybe like I've just missed something. But when they think best player in the NBA, people tend to think like LeBron. They might think Giannis, but they as a collective for like the better part of the last decade or so, it's been LeBron, no question.
Yeah,
It and like it's
that is
that,
true.
yeah.
That is true. I genuinely think like if you're still saying like I genuinely think if you're still saying LeBron right now, then like you're like just riding the wave of like what LeBron has been for the last 15 years, whatever it's been. You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't know, but I personally haven't been making the argument that Kawhi is the best player in the league literally since he got his ankle hurt from Zaza. So like ever since then, that's always been a thought.
I mean, it's one of the things like it might well be true, but it's also true that like while he might be the best player in the league at the moment, like no one's gonna be like he's the greatest player in the league at the moment. Like we all know who that is.
But like most people don't know basketball. If we can agree to that, like most people will say things, but most people will also be wrong because they literally just listen to what ESPN tells them to think. Like Stephen A. said it, so it must be right. You know what I mean? It's like that's how most people think about not just like everything, not that like goes outside of sports. But when it comes to sports, they just listen to what people talk about or what like ESPN or Fox Sports One says. Most people don't really know basketball, but the people who really know basketball it's more of it's not as like who's the best in the league right now. It's not a definitive thought as like it was when LeBron was
yeah.
early the second time Cleveland and Miami Heat and the Cleveland before that. Like in the last like 2-3 years, it's been up in the air, especially when he left Cleveland to go to LA.
That's fair. All right. You said you've watched most of the games, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I got a question because I missed it, but like I looked at some stuff about it. What's going on with the Jazz?
Oh my God! Listen, so I was watching this game last night. First of all, Murray is
nice.
Murray, but like he's taking advantage of what they're giving him, right? So like Murray is, this emotional guy, and he had a the post game interview. He got like super emotional about like because he has like Breonna Taylor and like George Floyd like on his like shoes, like pictures of them. And he was like, they're giving me strength to do this, whatever it is, blah blah blah. Actually, I shouldn't say blah 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 to that, but whatever. But during the game, he he dropped 50, 42, and 50 in the last 3 games. But if they're not double teaming him at all, and he's just cooking like Donovan Mitchell when the game was over, he left yesterday. He was throwing chairs and tearing down banners, that kind of stuff because he was good and cooked. Like Murray is destroying this man, and it's going into It's going into game 7, right?
Yeah, game 7 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going into game 7 tomorrow. The Jazz look fine, but they can't stop Murray. Like overall, they look fine, but Murray is just single-handedly beating them. He's D'ing up, and he's D'ing up. But he's D'ing up significantly well, not like crazy well, because Donovan Mitchell's still doing his thing. But the Nuggets have like Harris back, and they have like all these different players back that like, make a difference for them. And Murray just happened to be going off. And Jokic, like if they double team him this next game, Jokic is gonna be open. and he's a nice enough player to like take advantage of that. You know what I mean? But Devontae Murray is not Devontae. Is it Devontae Murray? Is that his name? Devontae?
Who are you talking?
Jamal Murray.
Jamal. I said Devontae Murray.
That's a different player
My
on
bad.
a different team.
My bad. Jamal Murray. I'm tripping. Jamal Murray is what was he like 9 of 12 from 3 this last game?
Yeah.
Like his numbers have been ridiculous. You know what I mean? But the Jazz just aren't adjusting well at all, and he single-handedly is just burning them.
Okay, well, all right. So my question is, I guess, is kind of like what you think they should do, because I guess there are two different ways they could go, like they could theoretically go about it, right? They could double Murray and then almost certainly get eaten alive by like Jokic and like their sidekicks, or like they could let Murray more or less do his thing and then just try and stop everybody else, which is arguably an easier thing to pull off at this point.
It might be easier to pull off, but they just got the Jazz have for a while been a really good defensive team. What they need to do is just go out there and throw out a bunch of defense at them, switching the zones, switching the man-to-man, switching the traps, all that kind of stuff. Because right now they're not doing that, and they're just eating them alive. Because Murray's a smart player, Jokic is a smart player, Paul Millsap's a smart player. You know, they get a bunch of smart players who can really shoot. Michael Porter Jr., Harry, they can all really shoot. They all know their position and they know their roles. But defensively, the Jazz are making like the playoffs, especially when it comes to like 4 or 5 seeds, all kind of stuff. It's all about adjustments, and the Jazz aren't making good adjustments like from game to game, and that's really what it is.
Yeah, they really don't have the defenders to do it anymore. Like I don't like Joe Ingles hasn't really like he's clamping up like their second best option, but like I just don't think they have the perimeter defense to like stop.
Donovan Mitchell,
Everybody's low pass. It's literally just like funnel it to Rudy Gobert and hope he can clear everything up. And you can't do that with people that can score in the mid range.
Yeah, Mike Conley is not playing. He's been playing like Mike Conley, but defensively not great. Donovan Mitchell getting cooked. Rudy Gobert is fine, except he gets put on a lot of ISOs and on when he gets pulled out because all of the Nuggets big men are legal or like not legal. Well, no, they're here legally, but a lot of their big men are mobile, right? So they can do a lot off the ball and on with the ball off the dribble. Like is Rudy Gobert going to Paul guard Michael Porter Jr., Jokic dribbling the ball down the court? No, you know what I mean. So like it's just a lot of mismatches that you have to make adjustments to game. Like you can be competitive all you want, like Donovan Mitchell, but it doesn't matter if your coach is like not helping you out in terms of like a game plan, and that's what it seems like to me. Like it's the only reason it shouldn't be in Game 7. Like it shouldn't be in the Game 7. The Jazz should have won already, but the game plan of the Jazz has not been great at all game to game when it comes to defense.
Look, and I understand why it's not because the Nuggets, they have enough dudes that can, like, if you focus all your stuff on Murray, you got Michael Porter Jr., who, like, even though he's a rookie, he can get you 10 points easy. Monte Morris, if I'm not butchering that man's name, he can get you 8 to 10 easy. Like, they just got a bunch of other dudes, and especially with Gary Harris being back, it's a problem. Like you really can't do much.
It was like some of the stuff I was looking at with it was just like I don't, just people talking or whatever. But like part of the problem is just like I guess kind of just the Nuggets are deeper. Like but like I was looking at the numbers, right, and it's like like Murray and Mitchell basically cancel each other out from a numbers standpoint. From a numbers standpoint, Conley and Jokic basically cancel each other out. But then but no one else on the Jazz really showed up. Jeremy Grant had like 18, I think.
Oh, he's shooting lights out.
Jordan Clark had 11 points off 14 shots or something.
Jordan Clark is cheeks to me. I've thought so for years. I've thought so since he came out of Missouri. I've always thought he was just cheeks. Like he's literally a person who rides the bench but has a mentality to think he's Kobe.
That's how you stay in the league, bro.
I mean, that's how you stay in the league, but you still be cheeks, right? Like J.R. Smith has that same kind of mentality, but J.R. Smith was like a high school. First of all, he was like a high school legend. Secondly, when he played for the Nuggets and when he played for the Knicks, he was notably nice. Like notably, bounce, could shoot, had like game. I hate Jordan. Jordan Clarkson has a game, but what it is I hate. Like I think it's trash. I've hated him for years. But continue.
Nah, but it's just like basically they like I think Gobert only had like 11 points. He had like 11 rebounds. Did he have any? I don't think he had any blocks.
Wait, who?
Gobert. He had like 11 points, 11 rebounds. Like, and I kept seeing something about basically he was fumbling like passes to him or something. Like there's some turnovers that were just him missing the ball or something.
Yeah.
French.
Do you think they pull out Game 7?
Murray is playing really good. What's the understatement? Like arguably he's playing the best in the playoffs right now. He's playing better than Dame over all the games. He's playing better than Luka over all the games. Like he's just yeah. Like if you look at his games, like Luka was having better quote unquote better overall games, but like Murray is like getting wins. And he's dropping 50, 42, 50 playing defense, and he's being really, 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 really efficient. So like you can make
in fairness to Luka, he also has a better team around him.
But in fairness to all of them, they were like everybody else adjusted their defenses to stop them. Like they can't do that with Murray. Like that's the only thing. Like Murray is shooting 64% from the field and 62% from the 3-point line. Like that is ridiculous. And when you look at the film, like that's a lot of one-on-one coverage.
Wasn't it yesterday or not yesterday? Wasn't it last week where I said I'd arguably take Murray over Luka Doncic? No, I didn't know he's gonna do all this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I said it last podcast. I didn't know Murray's gonna do all this, but man, he helping me out because I said that and then I sat down and thought about it for a couple of days. I was like, should I?
Hey, Murray eats during the playoffs, yo. Murray eats during the playoffs.
No. Murray had a bad playoffs last year and he knew it. That's what he said. I literally, he's like, I had a bad playoffs last year and I didn't like it, and this year is like a rebound year, I guess, for him. He's also very, 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 very young, right? And this year's like a rebound year for him. So like
Murray was the reason why they went to like they progressed as far as they did. Like he is a big part of the reason why. Like he didn't have like a stellar, but when they needed him, he stepped up.
I mean, like listen, I'm also listening to for that one I can't remember because I was watching Nuggets game last year. So I'm listening to the analyst. I'm listening to Murray himself, and that's what he said. So
I covered that series.
I'm like,
with,
shoot,
them in Portland. Like Murray was a dude.
Okay, well, okay. I guess he was that dude then. So my whole point's gone. Never mind then. But yeah, Murray's going off though. It's a little obnoxious, but shoot. I mean, I usually hate seeing a light-skinned man prosper, but like, do your thing.
Calvin, he plotting on your downfall, bro.
Man, but Calvin not from Canada though.
This ain't that. You
like it's specifically Canadian?
Huh?
Like specifically, you have an issue with the Canadians specifically?
Light-skinned Canadians. Drake.
Okay, that's a solid reason. I'm on the bandwagon now. I get it.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not tripping. I like Andrew Wiggins.
I love Andrew Wiggins, bro. I want it to work so bad.
It will. When the whole team's ready, it's gonna work. Like I was talking to somebody today. Like it's gonna work. Like especially if they get Wiseman, it's gonna work.
Bro, it won't work the way we like. I wanted him to be like a almost all-star. He's not, bro. I thought he was gonna be something.
He's gonna have a wide open lane. Okay, look at this. He's gonna have a lane wide open enough that Draymond Green can score. So I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna be fine. To tell you the truth.
He gonna go back to posterizing Rudy Gobert. I can't wait.
Oh, it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty. Like the issue is he's never been on a team that has like good shoot. Like nine, like they've had. Yeah, he hasn't even been on a team that had good shooters, right? So like this, and he drives. He drives and he finishes at the rim with his supreme athleticism. But now he went from not having any room to having the most room in NBA history, arguably. Yeah, he gonna eat. He gonna eat. Watch. It's gonna be, and they don't even need him to be like giving crazy good numbers. They just need him to do what he does, and that's that. Why does he need to sit back and shoot the three? Well, he got two of the best all-time three shooters of all time. I hate that sentence. When he has two of the best all-time three-point shooters ever. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna be solid. It's gonna be ridiculous to watch. I don't want Golden State to win because like they ruin basketball in a sense. Like everybody wants to shoot like Golden State, but everybody can't shoot like Golden State. But like,
so true.
But like, in terms of your Andrew Wiggins, I don't know if he has any real fans, but a non-hater, then he gonna eat.
Yeah.
I think a lot of NBA players have fans. They might not have a lot of them. Like he's probably got some fans somewhere.
You think when Sam Cassell was playing, he had fans?
Yeah.
Ugh.
He went to college, bro.
What?
He went to college and had like a decent college career. Yes, he has fans.
He's so ugly though. I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I get it because they're all from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, if you're watching the NBA,
hometown hero, bro.
If you're watching the NBA, you're like, Alec Burke got fans, but if you're from Kansas City, you know he got fans. You know what I mean? So I guess that's true. There's nobody who's so trash or so obnoxious or such a douchebag. They don't got no fans. Draymond Green probably, but
Nah.
Fans, bro.
I don't even know how.
That'd be closer to like DeMarcus Cousins, and DeMarcus Cousins has fans.
DeMarcus Cousins from Alabama. They got like two players ever in the NBA. Like Alabama, if you come from Alabama, you're gonna have a whole state being your fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You successful in the NBA from there? Yeah, he got fans for sure.
Yeah. But, is that the wrap up?
Is that the wrap up? Yeah, that is the wrap. That is the wrap up
For NBA? Okay. Calvin, what you got on the high school basketball front?
All right, so Hoop City had a showcase down here over the weekend. And honestly, I thought like Sky Clark and JD Davison would be there. They were not. However, players that they did pull from other states and from outside of the area were Chance Westry, who's pretty cold actually. Dang it. Westry and Isaiah Jones from Nashville, I think, like the Nashville area, and a Zane Butler who is from Arkansas. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember those. Westry is a sophomore. He led all scorers with 33 points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's 33 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, off 22 shots and 3 of 8 from the three.
Okay.
He was on the red. It was
breaking news. Brandon Ingram just won Most Improved Player.
Yay!
Okay.
That's cool.
That makes sense.
He going out, Colin. Shut your ass up. He going, Colin.
But most of these players I've seen a little bit of. Jonathan Lawson played really well. He looked a little stronger than in some of the games that I've seen. getting through contact a little bit better. He had 24 points.
We can see you, man. Tighten up, Philip.
Right. 24 points.
Mason Miller had 27 points and 11 rebounds. Reese McMullen, who's committed to University of Pennsylvania, had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. TJ Madlock, who is a player I actually like, he played really good defense. It didn't always matter, but he had 22 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Like Alan, you might want to go and watch it. I think it'd be worthwhile. Like a lot of these players will make some college coaches like they'll be happy to get a hold of them, honestly. Like McMullen looks like he's probably going to be really solid at Penn for his 4 years. Westry is like, I feel like he'd probably end up a top 5 pick in his draft when he goes, even though that's a few years away, save like injury or something. He's like I think they said he's like 6'5". You just kind of got to watch him.
Yeah. What's his name?
Chance Westry. He's from Pennsylvania, Philly, matter of fact. I think he's a 5-star recruit. Like he's a 5-star prospect.
Trying to see of course. Yeah, Rivals got him at, 24/7 Sports got him as a 4-star recruit, but he in the class of 2022, so that class is ridiculous, bro. Like it's so many dudes. It's
that. Like a lot of them are like that.
Yeah,
Sky Clark, when I saw him, he was pretty impressive too. Like
they have dudes down in like the 90s that are legitimately possible NBA prospects. It's really weird. Like I also think that the dude I'm talking about, his name is Kassan Wallace, and I personally think he's underrated in most like recruiting things, but like Buddy's kind of nuts. That entire class is crazy. Yeah, but on my end, I caught they got something called the Circuit League down here. They did a part 2 to it, and oh snap! Did you finish?
I mean, pretty much. Like, I mean, like you. I mean, like I don't think I've said it on here, but like I think I mentioned I'm a fan of Madlock. I think TJ Madlock is currently being under recruited in terms of like relative to his ability, and some of that is probably just like not really playing on the summer circuit this year. Yeah. But he's a bit more athletic than I thought he was. He didn't like in the game. He didn't shoot a whole lot. Like he took a couple shots. Then I guess he was like, I'm probably not hitting shots today, and like basically everything came at the rim. Either he took someone off the dribble or just like smart, like finding the right spot, garbage, like picking up garbage, like all that stuff. Consistently good decisions. He played good defense on Westry, but it was just in particular, I think there was one he like kept Westry from he locked him down, but Westry like did like a turnaround jumper and hit like fade away and hit anyway. It was just yeah.
Defense don't matter when you can really play offense. It sucks, especially at like the high school level.
That's really true.
Yeah. Yeah, the Circuit League started back down here. That's something I don't exactly know what the partnership is, but they got something partnered up with Jermaine O'Neal, and they hosted at like his at his setup. I really just focused on like the underclassmen, so like 2022 and 2023. But a dude that really stood out to me is Tyler Smith, who's our number 1 rated prospect in Texas. Dude is 6'10", and he plays small forward. It's not fair. It's really not. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like he legitimately plays 1 through 5, blocks shots, gets rebounds, hits threes. Like
he's a freak.
like no, it's ridiculous. I'm going to send you guys the link. It's remarkable. Like
From anytime you use the word remarkable to describe somebody, like that's different.
bro, no, like it's like I really just keyed in on like it was his first game of the summer, so he wasn't like hitting shots, but he still looked good. And on the defensive end, it just like he's keeping plays alive. You know when you like 16 and you got long arms, you just tap the ball up, or like when
Yeah.
you play against kids, you just tap the ball up. Yeah,
Yeah. Tyson Chandler.
and he was doing that against dudes that are like 6'8", 6'9". So it's a lot for wherever he goes. And he's like top 10, like ESPN has him like top 10 nationally. Another 2023, Jamiron Keller. Um, like already built like Donovan Mitchell, just a bull, not dunks everything. It's like tip dunks. Like if you don't box him out, you're going to end up on a poster. Like it's like from the summer, you can literally make like a 2-minute mixtape of him just tip dunking on it. It's kind of crazy. And when he goes downhill, there's like no point in standing in front of him. Like that's 2 points, and you're going to look bad.
Mm.
Yeah, and we got another dude, KJ Lewis. And it was my first time watching him. Just when it's a difference between like an athlete playing basketball and like a basketball player.
Oh
And
yeah, sure.
I don't think he's fully realized like the basketball part. And I don't know if that's because it's just he's more athletic than everybody else, so he doesn't have to play basketball. Because he can score at all three levels, like consistent corner three, pull up in the mid range, dunking on you at the rim. But like he just runs right past everybody every single time he gets the ball. It's kind of crazy. Like watching him in transition, one of my favorite dudes. And then a low key guy, Avery Jackson, class of 2022, 6'2" point guard. It's just really easy, bro. He shot like of 8 threes, he hit 6 with like hands in his face, like 6 assists in an AAU game where nobody is like really passing. Like control the tempo, everything, nice handle. I gotta send y'all the links. Like, buddy is like super solid. Then another kid that I've kind of just been like talking about on Twitter for like the past 2 weeks. It feels like Rylan Griffin, 6'6", closer to 6'7", nice handle. Probably one of the better athletes that we have down here. It's like quick twitch, like his start to stop is kind of just like ridiculous. Once he get that first step on you, it's not much you can do. And he's also like one of the better shooters that we have down here. So
reminds me of me.
No. There's a reason why we had you on a block, Philip.
I would just.
But no, that's like the major dudes outside of like Lee Dort, and that's a man child, bro. We talking about like 6'10", 250. As like going into his junior year, I think he had like 8 blocks in one game. Like it's just he do what he want.
He built like Hagrid.
Chill out, bro. I'm drinking water. If y'all don't got nothing else, I think that's a good stopping point.
I mean, honestly, I don't have anything else. I couldn't indulge on the high school conversation because I don't just like for my rappers, like I'll never buy a mixtape. You better make it big before I notice you. And same thing for basketball. You better make I don't know you in high school. I don't care. But once you get to NBA, I got you. You know what I mean? Or college at least. You know what I mean? That's how I've always thought. And shoot, I'll be late to the bandwagon. I will. I'm perfectly fine with that. So I could not engage in this high school talk, but it was fun hearing you guys talk about it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. I'll hype up anybody I haven't seen play. So
Oh
Well, with that being the case, Giannis just hit a transition three, so it's over. The world's coming to an end. So
yeah.
I mean, I saw something. Apparently, Giannis's shooting form was better when he was a rookie, like a lot better.
that's what happens when you get swole like that. You know what I mean? He probably can't scratch his back now. Like he over here struggling. You know what I mean? Like that's what happens though. But like he also is a better basketball player than when he was rookie though. So like I
Yeah,
think
it evens out. But like, imagine if he kept the shot though.
yeah. But I think for him to keep that shot, he also was to have to weigh a buck 80 at like 5
Uh,
or 6'10", whatever he is.
I mean, I feel like part of it might be, and I can't. Maybe like it was just a thing as far as his form, where like he like hit the gym a lot, but like didn't keep up with his shooting, and then when he finally got back, it just never got right again.
I saw who was that man that used to play for Memphis? Chandler Parsons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
Chandler
about him?
Parsons one time on the off season went and gained like 20 pounds of muscle, but like couldn't shoot the next season. Or like when he came to like the training camp, like he couldn't shoot at all. So they just made him lose like 15 pounds of that muscle. So he came back. He looked real different. Then in like 3 weeks, he looked just like he did before. Like he did all that work for no reason. Like that's so
Bro,
wild.
you hot.
Bro, it'd be so messed up though. But like you over here lifting, but like didn't shoot in the gym. Like you can't just be lifting and not shooting and think you're gonna be shooting the same. Over here,
Yeah.
look at Dwight. You know what I mean? Over here flicking his wrist. Over here, got the ball going over the backboard. Like, come on now, strong head.
Then again, why would you want to see Howard shoot the ball,
I mean, because it's funny.
bro?
Like he really, his arm is like at like a right degree angle, and he just look at those. That's why he just flicks his wrist. It just goes in every off season, but then he gets to the gym during every season. It doesn't. It's real weird. I don't know. But that's your
But
favorite.
like,
So
imagine if like prime Dwight Howard could shoot threes. Like, what do you do with that?
oh
Foul.
my
Like,
god,
Yeah.
well,
Craig.
he still can't shoot free throws, can he?
You got to get
Oh, we just said
Marquise
threes.
Morris on your team.
No, he still can't shoot free throws. He still can't do a left hand hook. So you
Okay.
you got to start somewhere. So imagine if he had a post move.
Who
Lord.
said a post move?
Literally. Imagine you had one post, one significant cast the ball on the block post move. If he had one, he don't got nothing. He been in the league. Never mind. I don't want to slander your favorite player, Allen, because I will easily. Even though he's a Hall of Famer and he has like wild Hall of Fame numbers, like he has legitimate Hall of Fame numbers. He is a Hall of Famer. He took the Orlando Magic to the NBA Finals, but he has not grown as a player in 15 years, whatever it's been. So that's kind of frustrating.
If my man's is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, it is an indictment on who is
Cracking his cheeks.
no, it is an indictment on who is voting, bro.
Bro, he over here had like an injury after somebody cracked his cheeks. Like, like I really hope in 20, 30, 40 years, people don't forget that part of his legacy. Like, I know he wants people to forget it and be like, stick to basketball. But, like, just like how people didn't forget Eddie Murphy was messing with that trans woman, like, we can't forget Dwight over here getting his cheeks clapped at 6'10", 250 pounds, whatever it is. Like,
I'm not gonna let this slander keep going,
Oh,
bro.
this is
Let's
this
hear
is
what you are
this is
not
wild
being
for
able
no
to shoot.
reason.
We ain't gotta bring it up. This is a basketball podcast.
what? It is
Cheek
about
clapping podcast.
It is. We're talking about basketball.
No. We talk
That,
about
that, that was not bad. You're
basketball.
talking about a basketball
Sport.
player. That had nothing to do with basketball.
Yeah, he got injured on the court that same year for the Wizards and couldn't play because of unforeseen circumstances.
I feel like you're just using that as an excuse to slide in what you actually want to talk about.
Nah, bro, we about to
Absolutely.
wrap this up. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. Thank you. Thank y'all for
That's
tuning
fine.
into the episode of The Traveler Hooper. I'm your host, Alan. Sorry for being unprofessional. Philip, you don't get the sign off. Calvin, let's
What's
go.
up, y'all? Calvin McGowan. Like, share, subscribe, whatever on YouTube. Yeah.
I guess you could say something.
I was like, you dead serious? Like, I was like, wait, I'm like, I really don't get a chance. All right. Yeah, this is Philip Dixon, aka the Truth Seeker. And Twitter. What is my Twitter? 6'5" Wizard of Mo, because at one point I thought I was an intellectual wizard, so I just haven't changed it. And then 6'5" Kill Bill. Phil Bill is my Instagram. 6'5" underscore Phil underscore Bill. And then my TikTok is PG Anecdotes, but I'm going to change that to 6'5" underscore Phil underscore Bill also, because suspect RIP. But all right though, here we go.